with every new status update that you do, we've had all kinds of options. We could attach a video, we could attach a link, we could attach a photo, and now we can create a question. You just click on it like that, and you can ask a question, and you can add poll options. Now, what I'm going to do is go down here, because about an hour ago, I just put out a question. And the question was, what is your top social media learning priority for business? And then I went and I clicked on that poll option, and it allowed me to put in my own answers to the polls. So I put in blogging and SEO, and you'll see here, I'll bring it up, put in Twitter and YouTube and online reputation management. So you could do anything that you wanted to. And it shows over here the people that have actually been answering this question. And you can go and take a look. You can click through on anybody over here. And one of the things that you're going to find out right away is if somebody answered the question that isn't your friend, then you can go right ahead and send a friend request and make sure that you're a friend with them. And you're going to find people here that aren't your friend. Because here's what happens. When you put this out and you put out a question or you make it a poll, it goes into the news feeds of all the people that, if you're on your Facebook page, it'll go in the news feeds of people that have liked your page. Or if you create it from your personal profile, see here's the question option over here as well, then it'll go into the news feeds of everyone. And also, I'm going to go back over here. See this little button right here, this tab, Ask Friends. I can click on that, and I can start clicking on people that I want to ask this of. And so I submit it to them. And when I do that, it says, thank you for asking your friends that question. Now what ends up happening is it comes up and it comes into the notifications right up here in their Facebook profile. So that we all look there to see if people have commented on our posts or we've been tagged in photos. It's just, that's a place that we get all kinds of activity. You also, if you're on your personal profile, I'll go back to my personal profile here, there's an area here called questions. You'll see right here, it shows this is one of the questions that I've asked. And I can click into it and I can find out from there what's been going on. If it wasn't a question that I had personally asked, this would notify me also, including the notifications up here. There's two ways that I get notified that I've been asked a question, because I clicked on from my fan page, or down here, the Ask Friends. So I could send it out to as many friends as I wanted to. It's a great way from a business perspective. Not as it just kind of a cool little tool here, but we're all looking for ways to kind of stay top of mind with people, especially as we use Facebook for prospecting. So obviously, the people that I'm prospecting with, and I went and I created a little tool here, and I'm a social media training university, and I said, what's your top social media learning priority for business? Well, not only does it help inform me, right, it's a little bit of market research, it's relevant to my brand and my business, and it lets me, in a real nice kind of a way, reach out and make sure they know that I'm still here, without trying to do a hardcore sell. And what happens is really interesting, because I immediately got 2 or 3 different messages coming to me and saying, hey, thanks for the question, how did you do that, and all kinds of good things. Well, I'm going to show you one of the gentlemen here. Let's just talk about who responded. So it's Eric Bergen. He's a friend of mine. And Eric says right here, answered, what is your top social media learning priority for business? It became a story on his wall. And that story goes out as a news feed onto his friends' walls. So right away, you can see how the question that you ask can actually virally get spread around Facebook. So you could have a ton of people that are answering your question that aren't really your friends. In fact, you didn't even know them. So if you ask the question right, you do an interesting poll, and it gets spread around, it's one of those ways that you can actually meet new people on Facebook. I like it because I know the things that I can actually control is the people that I ask the question of. So I know right away they're going to get notified, and they're going to know that I asked them a question. It's just a nice little touch. So a couple of other things. going to go back to my fan page here. You can also follow, let's just open this up. You can choose to follow a question. Now, I've followed this. Anybody that's gone in and interacted with this poll can see that there's a follow here. And what happens when you follow it is that you will get notifications when your friends answer that same question. So it might not have been a question that you asked, but you just chose, oh, I'm gonna answer that question that somebody else asked, and I'm gonna follow that question and see what my friends say about that question. And when you choose to follow it, it goes out as a story in the news feed to all of your friends as well. So just like everything on Facebook, it's really great because it does all kinds of things to make sure that something you do once gets spread and spread and spread over and over again. You can also post to your question. So anybody up here could have posted. I went and posted early on. I said, well, the responses look a bit lopsided at the moment, all SEO and Facebook. And look at this. You can actually scroll over and see how many people have voted. So there's 6 votes for SEO, 3 for Facebook, and 1 for blogging. Facebook and SEO, and especially SEO, are top responses. I just learned from that. So this is really a great new tool that's at your disposal. I would absolutely use it sparingly, but I would absolutely make sure that I'm doing it, and I'm doing it in a very brand relevant way. Now there's one more thing before we leave this that I want to make sure that you know about. Let's say I want to ask another question. I want to add some polls to it. There's a checkbox that happens down here when you do polls. What it does is, see this add an option? Allow anyone to add options. You're going to want to uncheck that. Because then, even though like this one down here, I put in blogging and SEO and Facebook and Twitter and online reputation management, things like that, I don't necessarily want other people adding in a bunch of miscellaneous options for people on my poll. So you're just going to want to make sure that you uncheck that before you then go and ask your question.